Hey there, ghoul friends. I'm Piper,
And I'm Matt.
and this is Two Ghouls, One Podcast, where we like to discuss all things current, classic, and obscure.
And for St. Patty's Day, we decided to revisit Leprechaun. Just the first one this time. Um,
Yeah,
no franchises for a minute again.
we'll spare you from listening to us talk about a leprechaun for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's I don't think we could if we tried.
No, I wouldn't want to be honest. I think covering one at a time is plenty. Uh, so, if by chance you have not seen this 1993 B movie classic, it's very short description. It's a very simple plot. A demonic leprechaun terrorizes a group of young people who he believes stole his gold.
Yeah, I don't think I could add to that if I wanted to.
Yeah, maybe just include that this movie has a very early on Jennifer Aniston,
Yeah,
and then that's the whole movie.
yeah. I wrote down the characters. There's Rachel, Willow, um, Hunky Guy, Ozzy,
Mm-hmm.
Dad, and Child.
Yep, there's all their names.
Yep.
Did the hunky guy not have a name in the movie?
I don't know.
I didn't clock that either.
I
Uh,
think he was too hunky to have a name.
I didn't connect, like, I don't know, I guess I didn't pay attention, but Jennifer Aniston's character is named Rachel, and is that not her name in Friends?
I don't think her name is Rachel in this.
Oh, okay, so
Or
you
is
went
it?
with her name from Friends. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. I was like, shit, what a coincidence. Uh, yeah, the only one I know the name of is Ozzy.
Yeah.
He's
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 the only one that
probably my
matters.
Yeah, he's my favorite character from the movie.
Yeah. I don't want to watch a second one in case they bring him back just to off him, you know?
Have you
So I
not seen the
definitely.
rest of them?
I might have seen two when it came out. I
Oh,
saw this one when it came out, and one time, like 5 years after it came out.
I can't wait for the years to follow so I can like make you watch all of these.
I'm looking forward to In the Hood.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
So that sucks that I'm gonna have to talk to you for like another 6 years.
Yeah. Um Hopefully by then we're like rolling in some money and we at least get paid to talk to each other. Right now
Yeah,
we're doing it for free like some idiots.
yeah, we're masochists.
So, to try to get into the plot of the movie, or I mean, I read the plot, but in case you're wanting a little more sustenance,
Find
uh,
another franchise. I can
yeah, there
recommend
you
one.
um, we start off with this man. Actually, we start off with a leprechaun for a second. You get to see the leprechaun played by Warwick Davis. Uh, Not, he's been in better movies, but this is like I think this is the only franchise that he's starred in.
I think
Uh,
is Willow technically a franchise now?
do they have a second one?
They did a show, didn't they?
Is that don't you need movies to be a franchise? Or
I don't know. That's why I'm posing the question.
let us know, fans. Is Willow a franchise?
Yeah,
I trust that everyone listening is smarter than we are. Uh,
it's
but
not hard.
yeah. But I guess if you're smart, why are you listening to us? So we start off with this leprechaun. We see that he's just counting his gold, and then it immediately kind of changes to this man who is a little older. And he basically, like, he tells his wife he's very Irish, and he tells his wife that essentially he had found a leprechaun, he had trapped it, made the leprechaun tell him where his gold was, and you don't do that. You don't take a leprechaun's gold, especially not this leprechaun. So he, I guess, has the leprechaun trapped in like a suitcase in his basement, and then ignorantly did not tell his wife about that. But also, his wife seems stupid because, like, the leprechaun is in the basement in the suitcase, and he starts singing some childhood song. Like, I don't recall what the song was, but it's like just some little nursery rhyme song uh, from a suitcase. And the thing is I'm not gonna open that fucking suitcase.
Maybe she just thought it was like a music box or something.
No, I don't know, because like it's clearly like a child's voice singing, and then when she gets closer, the child's like, "Can you let me out? Like I'm so scared I can barely breathe." And it's like, you weren't scared two
Oh,
seconds
she thinks
ago.
her
You were
husband's a
singing.
human trafficker.
I guess so. Maybe that's where she
So
thinks he's
she's.
getting the gold.
You're telling me you wouldn't save a child, is what you're saying right now. If you heard a
Um,
kid asking for help in a suitcase, you would not open the suitcase.
if I heard that creepy ass kid singing a nursery rhyme until it heard my footsteps, like, no, I don't think I would, because what the fuck is wrong with that kid that it would be like just casually singing like fucking Mary Had a Little Lamb or some shit if it's
It
actually
could be
scary?
Jonathan Davis trapped in the suitcase.
That doesn't help me because I can't recall who that is.
He's the lead singer of Korn.
Oh, yeah. Just from the suitcase, like boom, down, ding, bow, ding, bow.
Would you open it then?
Curiosity would kill this cat. I would open that suitcase.
I wouldn't open it if I heard a motherfucking chainsaw. I'll skin your ass raw. I'd throw that thing in the lake.
I don't know what would be like the funniest song to hear coming from a suitcase.
I don't know. I don't know any songs about suitcases. Somebody was singing a
Yeah.
song about, I don't know the funniest song to come out of a suitcase.
Well, whoever can comment the funniest song to hear from inside of a suitcase might win the chance of one day winning $1 million. It won't be
Might
from
win the
us, but
chance of,
like, yeah, maybe
okay,
one day that might happen
you'll
to you.
you'll get like point oh one karma point to your millionaire possibilities.
Yes, or
What the fuck were
you'll
we
get
talking about?
leprechaun, the leprechaun.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
not even the leprechaun. It's just leprechaun. So
Is that his
essentially,
name?
no, he actually has a name, and I think it's like Ludwig or something, but they
Like
don't
the
say it.
composer?
Um, I wonder which one came first.
Well, the composer. They wrote.
No, the leprechaun is like hundreds of years old, actually. I think the leprechaun would be older.
They didn't cast a real leprechaun. I hope you know that. Like, he's.
But, well,
Somebody wrote this
true,
script in
but
like 1992, probably.
no shit. But, like, if we're to believe that the leprechaun in the universe of the movie is, I think he said like 600 years old or something, then he would have been older, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But that I'm you know, it's not a real. It's not. It's not a biopic or a documentary.
Yeah, but in the universe of this movie, the
So you're
leprechaun would have
insinuating
been
that.
older.
Okay, you know what? We're not going to have another panty crisis. Yes,
Yeah, don't get your
the
panties in a bunch, man.
Ludwig the Leprechaun is older than von Lud, Lud, wait
See,
Ludwig von Beethoven. Is that it, or is it
I'm
Van?
actually seeing in uh the horror movie, like horror film wiki that it's Lubden, like L U
Lubden,
B Lubdan.
but he's like that's probably Gaelic, so that's probably like Charles or something. They they don't
you're
know how to
you're
use letters.
you're gonna offend all our Gaelic fans.
Well, if you're Gaelic, I'm sorry you don't know how to use letters.
So she lets the leprechaun out of the suitcase. This is a hard movie to talk about because it's just silly. Like what?
You know
So
what it
she lets,
reminds me of?
huh?
It reminds me of a Disney movie.
Yeah, like if Disney made like a horror movie.
Yeah, if Disney made a horror movie, that's Leprechaun.
You know, Stay Alive is considered, that's like the only Disney horror movie.
Like based on the video game that had Frankie
Yeah.
Muniz in it. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
God, I had to pull into the recesses of my brain for that one.
It's bad, but I like that one. It's such a of its time type of movie, you
I
know?
like all those like the technology has advanced far beyond like that kind of comprehension.
Yeah.
Like Fear.com and Arcade from Full Moon.
Dude. Okay. Yes. Because one day I want to talk about Fear.com. Imagine us
Hell yeah.
trying to explain Fear.com.
I need to rewatch it. It's been a minute.
I watched it not that long ago. I feel like it's free on Tubi or something.
That sounds right.
Yeah, we gotta get back to this fucking movie. So, she
Do
lets
we
the
have to?
leprechaun out of the suitcase. Leprechaun kills her. Uh, he then,
Shoves her down the stairs, right?
yeah, she falls down the stairs. Something creepy that the leprechaun can do is I guess he can, like, if he just hears you, he can replicate your voice. That's kind of fucking terrifying, you know? Um,
I don't remember Lucky doing that.
are you talking about from the Lucky Charms?
Yeah,
They're not all the same. That's racist.
that's. Is it? It's not a race, it's a species? Speciest?
Well, still not cool, man. Uh, so the old man whose gold, like he took the gold of the leprechaun, he has a heart attack, I suppose. And then we cut to Jennifer Aniston plot. She famously is like not like she doesn't like to mention this movie.
I
Can't
don't know
blame her.
why.
Um, I mean, I guess that she's just such a big star now. Like, I wouldn't be embarrassed by it. I would love to be in some really shitty, like, just B horror movie. I think that would be so fun. Uh,
Yeah. Get
and
your
it's not
head
even
out of
like
your
the
ass, Jennifer Aniston.
it's not even like the worst B movie. There's way worse. Like, I think this is a pretty solid movie to be like a shitty movie. You know?
Yeah, it's like
It's got like she's fucking working with Warwick Davis, and it's like put some respect on that man's name. You should be glad you worked with him.
it's like Disney Channel original quality. which is not a insult. It's just a very niche.
Yeah. It's like it's got a fairly decent budget, but it's like the storyline of it and everything isn't that in depth. I mean, it had a fucking one sentence plot description. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, so I do not like Jennifer Aniston's character too much in the beginning of this. I guess she gets like better, but essentially, her and her father are moving into the home of the man who stole the leprechaun's gold. And the whole time, it's like, I don't know, man. They go down in this basement and there's a cobweb and she's just like, oh, ugh, ugh. And it's like, girl, have you never seen a fucking cobweb before? Like, she just acts
Isn't
like
there
it's,
like a legit spider too, though?
yeah. And then I have a gripe with that because it's a fucking tarantula. And it's
So
like, there's not going to be a fucking tarantula where they are. They aren't
it's because
native
they're
to.
docile and easy to handle. That's like in Phantasm, that scorpion that's on Mike in the desert.
Yeah.
That's an emperor scorpion that lives in the rainforest. But
I didn't find.
they're
There's. You're telling me they live places besides the desert?
oh yeah, they live. Scorpions can live almost anywhere. But
You look like the type of guy that would know a lot about scorpions.
I'll send you something after this. But
Please don't. Holy shit, I can only imagine.
what?
What the hell are you gonna send me?
uh, a bag of scorpions.
Oh, Jesus.
So
I knew I should not have given you my address.
yep, you instant regret.
Yeah.
But yeah, they like use them because they're not going to kill you if they sting you,
Yeah.
and they're easy to handle. They probably won't even sting you. So yeah, tarantulas get the same thing. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be a brown recluse, but nope, tarantula.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know. To see a tarantula in someone's basement like that, it's like I would freak out too. So that was warranted. But it's also kind of like it takes you out of it. Like I know this is a movie about a leprechaun. It's not grounded in reality, but it's like there's not going to be a fucking tarantula in this basement, okay? Uh
Ozzy should have been
that
like, oh, I lost my spider.
dude, yes. Yes, that would have solved the problem.
Yep.
So Jennifer Aniston's character kind of sucks at the beginning. She improves a little bit, but then we run into Hunky Guy,
Yep.
Little Boy, and the real star of the show here, Ozzy.
The four of
Uh,
them are standing around, and I just wrote down hair. There's just
there
so
is
much
hair.
hair, so much
Yeah,
volume.
yeah, there's a lot of hair in this movie.
The
Pretty
moose
much all
budget,
from the top of people's like on their heads, though. You don't see like hairy ass or anything. Just
right? I mean, Leprechaun, pretty hairy little guy.
yeah, yeah. He actually does. He's pretty hairy. Uh, But then we get I'm just gonna throw like Ozzy is mentally impaired in some way. So he is best friends with the child. And the kid is a dick to him, man. Like the kid is such an asshole. So like I don't know, at some point Ozzy is in the basement and he sees the leprechaun. I think he lets him out of the because I guess the old man managed to trap the leprechaun again inside of like a crate.
And he
Uh,
put a four-leaf clover on top of it, which
yes,
traps leprechaun. I thought leprechauns liked four-leaf clovers. I don't understand that lore.
yeah, and I don't understand that either. I mean,
Don't they
but
always have them like in their hat?
also, have we done any like did we do leprechaun research for this movie, or are we just banking on the fact that we must know a lot about leprechauns? You know?
I bought Lucky Charms 3 weeks ago. So I think I know all I need to know about leprechauns.
Oh, we got an expert on with us today, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Uh,
pots of gold, rainbows, hearts, balloons, clovers, horseshoes,
I don't fucking like Lucky
stars,
Charms. The
rainbows.
marshmallows feel like you're eating styrofoam packing peanuts.
Yeah, they're freeze dried. So they're
I hate it. The texture is terrible. Like like I don't know, man. I just the
they kind of get a better texture if you let them sit in milk till the grain part of it is soggy.
Now I do like my cereal soggy, but I just feel
You
like the
would.
marshmallows still. You just fucking said, dude. You just said.
I said if one part gets disgusting, the other part gets good. You're the one that said I like soggy cereal, period.
Well, yeah, I like a little bit of sogginess to my cereal. I don't want it super crunchy. I think it's best when it's soft,
Yeah, it's freakish behavior. I expect nothing more.
said the man who knows tarantula facts or scorpion facts.
I know scorpion facts. You know tarantula facts.
Not really, other than just they wouldn't be in that basement.
That's a tarantula fact.
We've spoken for 20 minutes. We've not talked about this movie one bit.
Yeah, we did. We talked about hair and that lady died.
Yep. Uh, okay, so Ozzy finds the leprechaun and he also lets it out. Again, it was pretending to be a kid, but this time it makes more sense because we have already established in the movie that Ozzy is not quite to his peer, like he's not on par with his peers, you know. And it doesn't specify like what's going on with him, but doesn't matter. We just know like it's 1993. Thank God they don't call him the R word. Like it was low standards back then. Like thank God they're just kind of nice to Ozzy. Um,
It's because it was originally meant for Disney Channel, so it wasn't in the script.
I think you're onto something, man.
That's why there's a kid. It was supposed to be
It
two kids, but
They couldn't find two child actors.
yeah, so they made Ozzy a
So,
mentally.
uh, yeah, Ozzy lets. I want to keep calling him Ludwig. I don't know what the fuck that name was for him. Anyways, he lets the leprechaun out, and no one believes him. Because, like, I don't know where the leprechaun disappears to, but nobody else sees him, and nobody believes Ozzy. Uh, and then he sees a rainbow outside, and he's like, yo, I just saw a leprechaun. Here's a rainbow. Let's follow the rainbow. There were no Lucky Charms, but there was a pot of gold. So he takes the gold and he's trying to give it the old, like, you know, how you can, like, bite and tell if something's gold, which I value my teeth, so I don't think I'm going to do that anytime soon. But, in
Yeah, if it's
doing
gold, you're
so,
fine. If it's not gold, no.
if it's not gold, it's chocolate, and you're even better.
Okay, then why won't you bite it?
Because if it's gold, man,
Gold's
I think
malleable.
gold is stronger than teeth. I guess. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't want
your
to.
teeth.
I don't want to. But perhaps
Weak teeth
so.
have an ass.
I'm lactose intolerant. I can't really drink milk. They probably are
Get a
weak.
supplement, bitch.
I. It's the way in which you moved your body while you said it. Like, This whole episode is not about the leprechaun anymore. We're just talking shit.
Happy
Okay.
St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, neither of us wore green.
Neither of us drank either, which is shocking.
I don't have my socks don't even have green. We fucked up. Anyways,
uh, your vagina.
I think he meant yours. So they find the pot of gold. So he swallows a piece of gold, like a gold coin. I'm sure that's going to be a non issue. Anyways, I'm going to skip some non important bits because who cares? Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna talk for a second on the kid is like, oh, we gotta hide this gold. We can't let the adults know because they'll just want to take all the money, and we've got to use this money to fix your brain. And Ozzy's like, what's wrong with
Oh
my
yeah.
brain? And this kid's like, well, you're fucking stupid. And he's like, the kid is so mean to Ozzy, and it's like, can you just please be nicer to him? Uh, but he was like, Ozzy's. I don't know. I think the kid said something like, "People call you stupid," and he's like, "They call me stupid," and the kid's like, "Not to your face, just behind your back." Like that's supposed to be reassuring. This kid is such a dickhead. What? So so poor Ozzy. Uh, anyway, we're gonna skip some non-important bits, and eventually they all come to realize the fucking leprechaun is real. He does exist. And from there he just terrorizes all of them. He's trying to get his gold. And then there's another little segment where the kid is talking to Jennifer Aniston and is like, but we need that gold. And Jennifer Aniston's like, dude, why? And the kid's like, to fix Ozzy's brain. And she is being very kind, I guess. And she's like, dude, you can't, like, you can't just fix Ozzy's, like, you can't get him a new brain. And the kid's like, well, I know that, but Ozzy doesn't. And it's like, Ozzy fucking didn't even know he was stupid until you told him, you little shithead. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate the kid in this. He's so mean. Uh, but I don't know. Essentially, one thing I do want to fucking touch on is there should have been like a count, like a little counter thing where we were like keeping track of how many little vehicles this leprechaun drives throughout the
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Like, I think there's one scene where a cop pulls him over and he's in like this little tiny Jeep toy thing. I needed to see him in one of those old school Barbie Jeeps.
Oh damn. Yeah.
Yeah, because like that would have been so cool. I don't think he was ever in a Barbie Jeep, but he was in like a go kart at one point, I believe. Um, we see him in a wheelchair inside of a hospital. That's three, man. There was possibly more, but I don't know. But you see him like one movie, three different wheeled mechanisms to get this little guy around. Where's he finding this shit? You know?
Can he magic them? I don't know the abilities of leprechauns in this world.
Yeah, I don't either. I It does use some lore in terms of like I guess he has to polish shoes when he sees shoes.
That's
But that
right.
doesn't make a ton of sense because everyone in the movie is wearing shoes and he has no problem with that. Like he's not polishing the shoes that are on people just if they're loosey goosey shoes, you know?
Yeah. It makes zero sense. Maybe they have to be like leather, but no, that's not the case either, is it?
I didn't pay attention to if the shoes were leather, but it would be odd if they were all leather because they had like a whole fucking box of them that they were just tossing to like distract him. And
Yeah,
it's like,
that's right.
where would they find all those leather shoes? Actually, at one point in the movie, it specifically says that the shoes Jennifer Aniston is wearing is leather because Hunky Guy takes her shoe off in a restaurant. Was this fucking directed by like Quentin Tarantino or something?
Quentin
Uh
Tarantino's Leprechaun.
it's just him polishing shoes, like taking them off girls' feet and then polishing them. But yeah, so he like it uses some sort of leprechaun lore, I guess, with the four-leaf clovers and the polishing of shoes and such. But I don't know how much of that is grounded in actual leprechaun lore because again, I'm pretty sure they're big fans of four-leaf clovers,
I
not
thought so too.
enemies of. Are you looking up leprechaun lore?
I'm looking up Leprechaun lore.
Sweet. We're
We t-
very
People
prepared.
have listened to us talk about Phantasm for 2.5 hours. They can hear a little bit of Leprechaun lore.
We're lying to ourselves that people are listening to our podcast.
Yeah, we're delusional as fuck, but it's fine. A leprechaun is a diminutive supernatural being in Irish folklore, classed by some as a type of solitary fairy. They are usually depicted as little bearded men wearing a coat and hat who partake in mischief. In later times, they have been depicted as shoemakers who have a hidden pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Folklore. The leprechaun is said to be a solitary creature whose principal occupation is making and cobbling shoes and who enjoys practical jokes. In Mick Nally's 1888 account, the leprechaun was not a professional cobbler, but was frequently seen mending his own shoes as he runs about so much he wears them out. This is, he claims, the perfect opportunity for a human being to capture the leprechaun, refusing to release him until the leprechaun gives his captor supernatural wealth. And there's like a
None of,
whole fucking thing about them earlier than that iteration.
Nothing about clovers in there?
No,
Hmm.
nothing. In politics
What?
of the Republic of Ireland, leprechauns have been used to refer to the twee aspects of tourism field in Ireland. Okay.
Nah, get that woke shit out of my podcast. We're not talking about.
Are you drunk?
I wish it might make this like easier to talk about. Um, yeah, so like everybody is being terrorized by the leprechaun, and eventually they do give up the gold, and I guess it's only 100 pieces of gold, which seems I don't know how much gold is worth. I'm a peasant. Uh, but it's like a hundred coins of gold. Is that
I can
like?
tell you a crazy gold fact.
I bet you could. What's up?
They don't determine it by weight, they determine it by density because you could get gold at the equator and then take it elsewhere and it be worth more, less, less. It'd be worth more at the equator. So if you found it in
Hmm,
Alaska and then took it to the equator, it would weigh more. So they go by density.
gotcha.
So it is worth the same no matter what your longitude is.
Yeah. Hmm. You got weird
That
facts,
might
man.
be stupid or, asinine to you, but it is more fascinating to me than anything in this movie. So,
So the leprechaun counts his gold bits, and there's 99. He's got 99 golds,
I got
but a
99
bitch ain't
problems and
one.
a and a bit is one.
Ah, I like that. So he's like, "Where the fuck is my last piece of gold?" And he finds out it's in Ozzy's stomach. Because throwback to earlier in the podcast when I mentioned that Ozzy swallowed that piece of gold, which, like, bro, how? How did you accidentally swallow an entire piece of, like, an entire gold coin? Those things were big. And they weren't like lifesavers. They didn't have a fucking air hole in them, you know? Like, he should have just, like, the movie should have ended there. Ozzy choked to death on a gold coin. Movie over. Uh, so instead of doing the humane thing, which, like, he's a leprechaun, so I guess humane isn't it's not his concern. But it's like,
Yeah.
anyways, he cuts Ozzy's stomach open and gets the gold coin out instead of just waiting for Ozzy to take a shit.
Well, he's a
If
very
dude could,
impatient guy. They established that earlier.
if dude could have waited, like, I don't know, 12 to 24 hours maybe. I don't know Ozzy's, like, BM schedule, but, like, I don't know, man. You didn't have to kill him. Like, you've got all these magic powers. You can't magically make him shit himself.
He didn't kill Ozzy, though, did he? Ozzy's still alive at the end, isn't he?
Well, he is, but I think I thought they played it off as he died. And spoiler, in case you did think that he died at the end of it, I know that, Matt, you said you haven't watched any of, like, you said maybe you've watched the second one. But
Possibly,
when
yeah.
yeah, so they did a remake a few years ago, or, like, I guess a reboot, and Ozzy's in it, and he did
Oh,
survive. But I really thought that they tried to play it off as he died from that.
I
Uh,
feel like
so,
only three people in the whole four in the whole movie die, and it seems very Disney to me. Like I
yeah,
can't
like they had to,
reiterate enough or
they
like
just
Ernest
added
scared
those
stupid.
they, like, added in those kills afterwards because they were, like, writing it for Disney, and then they're like, actually,
Yeah, Disney was like, "Oh, we already have Shamrock Town or something, whatever the fuck they probably made in the '90s for St. Patty's Day."
it's Luck of the Irish. You never watched Luck of the
Okay,
Irish?
no,
Oh,
should I?
you should. You should watch
Okay,
Luck of the Irish. Compare it to Leprechaun, and I'll check your letterbox and see which one you rate higher.
I need to actually bump up Leprechaun. I liked it a
Oh
little
yeah,
more this viewing than I recall liking it before.
yeah. I ranked it at, like, 3.5 stars, and I feel like you. Hold on. Yeah, I have it at 3.5 stars. You have it at 3. You saying it gets a three and
Okay,
a half?
I'm gonna say it gets a 3.25, and we're gonna round down to three.
Rachel gave it 5 stars.
Are you fucking kidding me? No, she didn't.
I can't. She did, man. Like, just
Holy fuck.
look for yourself if you don't believe me. I swear. I swear on my pot of gold that she gave it 5 stars.
Wow.
We gotta
That's
have her on the podcast
insane.
next year for St. Patrick's Day, and she has to defend why she gave it 5 stars.
That is a
Okay.
hot take. What the
Okay.
fuck?
Okay, well, if you didn't guess, and in case you're not in the loop, I imagine at this moment most of the people listening are just our friends anyways. Because we're only, like, episode this will be episode 5. Uh,
Yeah.
Rachel is a mutual friend. She is also on Horror Talk. Great person, bad taste.
Apparently, she's insane. I did not know that.
uh, okay, I don't know how to. I mean, I explained the movie, and now I don't know where to like go from here because what the fuck, Rachel?
If I knew her email, I would email her right now and invite her in on the spot. She
Oh
would just come
god.
into a fucking inquisition.
So I guess I will include this little tidbit about my life and my experience with the Leprechaun is that this is the first scary movie I remember watching. I was 3 years old. It's one of my earliest memories. Uh, yeah, it would be
It's a good one.
this.
It's a fucking Disney movie. You're just hammering that home.
Yeah, so I don't know, either Leprechaun or I don't know, is Flowers in the Attic, would you consider that like a gothic horror or something? I
That's
kind of think
like
it's a bit of a
incest
goth.
corn, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the book is very like it drives that home, but the 80s movie, it's more subtle than that, but like kind of,
All I
yeah.
know about that is my mom was reading it, and I was like, "What is this about?" And she explained it to me, and by the end of it, I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Well, I guess this isn't helping my case any, but when I was 3 years old, I was obsessed with the movie Flowers in the Attic. Fucking
Okay.
obsessed. Like I would get home from school because I was in like Head Start, um, and I would get off the Head Start bus and ask my mom to put on my Flowers movie because we had it on VHS, and I would just watch it every day.
I don't I don't know what to say to that. At least
So
you didn't give
either
Leprechaun 5 stars. That's what I'll say to that.
So, if you consider Flowers in the Attic to be kind of horror, then maybe that was my first horror. But I don't know if it's actually classified as a horror. I would argue it's like a gothic horror of sorts, but Leprechaun is definitively horror, and
Yes.
I guess, say that that was my first horror movie that I ever watched was Leprechaun.
I have no idea what mine was. I do remember watching that werewolf show. You've probably never heard of this. It had like one season in like
Hmm.
1988, 89. It couldn't have been 90 because my parents separated and I didn't live with my dad anymore. And I was watching this at my dad's house. So, um,
Did you not ever visit your dad?
no, he ended up losing that place before I did. So,
Oh, okay. So you're like, given the place I was in at the time, it could
yeah.
not have happened. Gotcha.
So it was 89 or earlier. I was born in 85. So
Okay.
four at the oldest. So it's called Werewolf, and I couldn't tell you much about the show. Just a dude like was a vigilante that turned into a werewolf. And it was
A,
labeled
a
a
one
horror show,
a one sentence plot summary seems to be the theme for this episode.
but it was Columbia TriStar that put it out. And so until I was like 8 years old, I called the Pegasus and the TriStar logo. I
Hmm.
called it the Werewolf's Horse.
That's cute. That's like I didn't know what an attic was, and so I just called Flowers in the Attic my flower movie because I understood what flowers were, but not
Because your
attics.
parents kept you in the basement.
We didn't. Oh, I grew up in a trailer.
Oh, you were you were locked up under it.
uh, no, but my grandparents had a basement, and so I understood what a basement was, but I didn't know anyone who owned an attic, so I didn't
Yeah.
comprehend what an attic was. But it's like the movie is based on the kids being in the fucking attic, so you think I would have like connected those dots at some point? I don't know.
Media literacy's dead.
It sure is when you're 3.
Or, mentally stunted to 3,
Such as yourself.
such as a major party in the United States of America.
Fair. I don't think we even have to say who.
No, it's obvious.
The smart ones will get it, and the dumb ones will not even register. Actually, they are registered, and that's the fucking problem. Well, shit.
You got anything else about Leprechaun?
Um, no, not really. Fuck, how many did they have? Like, it goes in sequence from like Leprechaun, like 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is Leprechaun in space.
I always thought it was weird he went to space before he went to the hood.
I mean, I guess if you get the opportunity to go to space, you're gonna go to space. If you get the opportunity to go to the hood, less exciting.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't
Yeah.
know. It depends on what part you're in, probably. I feel like the vast quiet of space would eventually be less interesting than whatever fucking shenanigans you're getting into in the hood.
Yeah, I don't know, but he went to, well, I guess he must have liked the hood better because he went back to the hood.
Yep.
It's
See?
literally to the hood, DA, because it was the early 2000s, so they had to
Yeah.
spell it duh.
I'm surprised they
Uh,
didn't find a way to put a Z in there.
Back to the hoods.
Yep.
And then after that, I think that was the last time Warwick Davis was the Leprechaun.
The hood
Uh,
too?
yeah, well, back to the hood, yeah. Um, and then they did like I want to say like 2000, between 2014 and maybe 2017 or something. They did a Leprechaun Origins that has nothing to do with the leprechaun. Like, it's so stupid. It's the worst one that is supposed to like canonically be a part of the Leprechaun franchise, but it's like some sort, I don't want to like spoil it in case you decide to watch them, Matt, but
So we're at what? Leprechaun 2, 3, Space, Hood, Back to the Hood, and then.
and then you get Origins, which is just
Okay,
some
so
sort of weird fucking creature.
here in 6 years, we'll be talking about Leprechaun Origins.
Yeah. And then
There's
they,
more?
yeah, there's one more where they kind of went back to the concept of having an actual leprechaun, but again, it isn't Warwick Davis, so it's just it doesn't have that same kind of like Warwick Davis is the leprechaun in the same way that like Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger. You know, if you get a slasher that has like a lot of talking bits, it's kind of hard to replace them. You know.
Yeah. It's like
Um,
that Hellraiser where it's not what's his fuck? Doug Bradley. It's like
yeah.
a dude that looks like a melted potato. It's like what happened to
Oh,
Pinhead?
I thought you were talking about the Hulu one, which like she did fine. I didn't mind
No, I,
hers.
I
Like,
like that one.
yeah, but like the great value one that is in like the
Yeah,
last two of the original lineup. Yeah, those are
it
weird.
looks like they bought their fucking mask off Timu.
They brought in a guy who has like a butt chin, and like I have a butt chin, so I'm not hating, but it's
You have a
just
butt face.
I think people would disagree with you, and I think people would consider me to be the more attractive person on the podcast. But you tell yourself what you need to.
Well, we already
So
established a lot of people don't have good taste, so
yeah, because Rachel said you cleaned up once, and we've established that she has bad taste. So
I cannot argue with Rachel's bad taste right now. That floored me.
yeah, I, I scrolled down and saw 5 fucking stars for this movie. I thought I was like seeing double or some shit. Uh, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's just they. So what would that be? Six? I think there's 7 Leprechaun movies that are intended to be essentially like from this
And then
Leprechaun lineup.
there's a reboot, and you said Ozzy's in that.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Like
And
the
they, I mean,
character or the like
the
they
actor.
read. Okay, is he playing
Yeah,
Ozzy?
yeah, he plays himself. And they have a mention of Jennifer Aniston, uh, where
I bet she loves that.
well, they don't like say that it's her, but in the storyline, the main character is meant to be her daughter,
Mm.
and to explain like I think something happened where like maybe she like died of cancer or some shit, so like they don't have to be like, where's your mom, that's not Jennifer Aniston. uh so yeah, it's kind of like a, I don't know, is that a reboot or like a soft, I don't know,
Sounds like a
like it's not a
sequel.
remake.
It's probably a soft reboot.
Yeah, because yeah, I think it would be considered a soft reboot. Well,
Yeah, I've
I guess that's all she wrote on the Leprechaun.
I don't know. I don't have much to add. He ate an eyeball. That was cool and very not Disney. Um, no, he didn't eat it. He put it in it. He got his eye taken out and he replaced it with somebody else's eyeball. That was neat. And the way they disposed of him at the end, where they
That scene was
make
pretty
him,
cool.
yeah, they make him eat a 4-leaf clover,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's still alive. So they kick him down a well and pour gasoline and blow it up.
Yep.
That was something, I guess.
Yeah, that was probably the coolest part of the movie, but like it wasn't jam packed with cool scenes, so it's kind of like
I was just shocked at how many sets there were because they have the farmhouse, and then they
mhm,
have the police station at a point, and they have the
like a
like
diner.
hospice place,
Yeah.
and then like exterior sets at a bunch of different places.
Yeah, it makes you
So that
wonder what the
was
budget
cool.
was, but it's a Lionsgate production, so they had Lionsgate money. It's kind of odd. Like I was surprised when I saw that because it's like it's such a weird movie. Are you
I
looking
bet
up the
Wikipedia
budget?
says the budget.
Well, yeah, but what was that money in like 1993 monies, you know?
Well, I mean, it would the budget would be the 1993, and then you would
Well,
just
yeah,
adjust
but
that for inflation.
that's what I'm saying. Is like what would that be in today's monies?
Uh, Box office 8.5 million on a budget of 900,000. So that's pretty good.
Holy shit. So you're telling me this movie was a box office success?
Yeah, most horror movies are. Um,
That's true.
you really got to fuck up to to not make a profit on a horror movie.
That could be like a whole idea for an episode is just like cover horror movies that were box office bombs or like
I
the
bet a lot
lowest
of good ones
grossing.
were.
Yeah.
Probably a
I
good bit.
think I think the um I don't know if it's horror or not. I think it was this movie and it has like a famous actress in it, but it's called like Zizek's Road.
What?
Yeah. It was strange. Hold on.
Zizek's Row?
Road.
Road.
Yeah, it's a 2006 movie starring Katherine Heigl.
Okay, from Grey's Anatomy fame.
Yeah, um, a budget of 1.2 million.
Okay, that's about what you would expect.
Made $30.
It made $30.
It made $30.
That means like everybody that was in the movie didn't even go see it.
Yeah. So here's why, because they only released it in one theater for like less than a week. Uh, Yeah, it says independent features Zizek's Road is best known, or rather infamously, for making only $30 at the box office.
Can we stream it? I want to watch this now.
It's on Tubi.
Of course it is.
Yeah. But like fucking
Yeah,
wild that it has like Katherine Heigl. What I don't understand. There was no marketing for it. They released it in theaters for like one theater for less than a week. It might have even just been like a day or some shit. I don't know.
is there like a production company or anything that's like known?
I think it said it was like an independent, like it's an indie film. So
Okay. Still, it sounds like tax write off might have still been better in that instance. That's a
yeah,
question
there was
for
something.
Rachel.
Yeah, there was something weird going on there. I don't know. Okay, yeah, yeah. It says it made $30 on its opening run due to its intentionally limited release at a single cinema. It is the lowest grossing film in U.S. history in terms of box office sales.
That's crazy. $30.
Yeah, and it is a thriller, so I guess not horror, but like those two just line up to where like thriller is kind of horror, kind of.
Oh, okay. I was flabbergasted for a minute. I went to Letterbox to look at the Leprechaun scores, like
Uh
for
huh.
each movie, and I had switched it to friends only, and where you and Rachel are the only people that had rated it on my friends list. It was sitting at 4 fucking 0.2 stars.
Yeah, that would throw me back a bit. Yeah, it's
Leprechaun
2.4
2.
stars.
Leprechaun 2 also has a 2.4, so they're equal.
Which I don't
2.6 for
I
3.
that's weird. I consider the first one to be the best one.
Rachel gave 3 2.5 stars.
So she does not agree that they
She gave
improve.
2 3.5.
Do you think it was a like a nostalgia rating or something from her?
I think it might have been in fucking what's it called when like your brain stops working for a minute?
A stroke?
Yes, I think it might have been stroke. Wait. Oh, okay. Leprechaun 4 in space.
Yeah.
It's just like stupid. And that's Leprechaun in a nutshell. Disney Channel, watered down horror movie that has a good bit of 90s nostalgia. Some crazy fucking volume hair.
And
Like,
actually, two fairly notable celebrities.
yeah. But Warwick was kind of established when it came out.
Yeah, yeah, he
Jennifer
was.
Aniston was not.
I know they got her like right out the gate. You know,
Yeah.
it was. It's
Like,
similar to like when Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey were in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. It's like they got them just before they actually became famous.
yeah, they had a foot in the door and then one in the grave.
Yeah.
I got nothing else for Leprechaun. It was fun.
Yeah,
3.25 stars.
it's always fun to revisit on St. Patrick's Day and no other time.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily, there's 7 more we need to watch, so we won't have to
Yeah,
recycle it for 8
was
years.
it I think it's 7 in total, so 6 more maybe
Oh, okay,
or
6 more.
yeah.
2, 3, 4 in space. Hood,
Mhm.
back to the Hood.
Yeah.
Origins reboot.
Yeah. Okay, wait, well shit, that's 8 then.
8 total.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got we got decades of content to bring you all.
Yeah, maybe the next one will be easier to talk about and listen to cuz this one just it felt like it didn't really have anything going on.
No, I feel like we covered everything and we talked about it for about 5 minutes total.
Yeah. And then just like shot the shit for an hour.
I read 2 paragraphs on actual Leprechaun lore, and I think it was about the equivalent of substance that we spent talking about the movie.
Yeah, I'm
But we
sure a
covered
lot of what we've
everything.
Yeah, yeah. This is one where I think a lot of our recording's going to get cut down because we were just there's nothing to talk about in terms of this movie, honestly.
No, it's all staying in.
Rachel's just going to like listen to us laugh at her for 10 minutes.
Well, don't fucking make it public that you give Leprechaun 5 stars. Make a private account or
Hide your shame. Shit. Like, great taste in cookies, not so much in movies.
now we can do our outro. I think
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Okay. Are you saying it? Am I saying it?
What the hell are we saying? I don't even remember. It's yeah, thanks for listening, watching, whatever poison you chose for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we that's Leprechaun.
Yeah,
Not a
you've
whole
been
lot to
great
cover.
and you've been great and we've been trying our best.
Yeah, follow me on TikTok at Real Dumb. Follow her.
Yeah, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram both under Piper Purgatory. Got to start plugging the
And then
IG in case like TikTok goes away.
yeah, good idea. I should probably become active on other shit too. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm also on YouTube as Real Dumb. So maybe I'll post something now that she said that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're listening to this, but the YouTube for the podcast, Two Ghouls One Podcast, we're gonna start putting special stuff on there.
Yep,
So
yep.
if you're not listening on YouTube, you might want to go subscribe to the YouTube too.
Yep, go subscribe. Subscribe to anywhere you can get
So
podcasts because support us on all platforms.